So how do you change limiting beliefs and habitable patterns? Well, there is an answer, and that's EVOX, which means in Latin, voice. So in our practice here at the American Center of Biological Medicine, we have loved how this has helped transform our clients' lives. And I had another client who came into the clinic, and she found herself constantly procrastinating, not understanding why she was procrastinating. And so we utilized the EVOX, and she was able to discover, again, very deep, unconsciously, that as a child, her mother was very controlling and would make her do things she didn't want to do. So naturally, she was resisting her mother and didn't realize how that was affecting her in her adult life, and that she had made a decision as a very young child that no one was going to control her. And so out of that, this procrastination was created. But then she found the procrastination was happening in all parts of her life and now was affecting her. But once she realized that on that unconscious level, she was able to shift it. And now she brought it to her awareness. I tell my clients that there's nothing to shift or change. All you need to do is be aware. And the moment that you're aware, now you're awake. And you're in what I call the present moment. Most of us are not in that moment. But the EVOX does help you to bring you to that moment by collapsing a lot of these perceptions, ideas, and beliefs. I look at our thoughts as bandwidths, and some are very wide and affect us, like the two clients I shared with you. Another one is that when I talk to my clients, I talk to them about their peeling an onion. And so the first session is like, oh, there's the first one. And then we go deeper and deeper, and they discover more and more things about themselves. So when you speak, your voice carries the energy of what you perceive about the topic you're speaking about. So when I'm utilizing the EVOX and our clients are speaking to me about what's going on, it's showing in their voice. So your perceptions enable you to organize and interpret sensory information so you can understand your environment, because as a child, that's all we're trying to do. You know, early in your development, you maintain brain waves that resemble a state of hypnosis in which you soak up everything you see around you like a sponge. You pick up on subtle cues and begin to display behavior patterns that mimic the parents or the caregivers without even realizing it. So now we're creating beliefs and ideas. You know, Aristotle said, give me a child from birth to 7 and I'll show you the man. So that tells you a lot about what our childhood how our childhood affects us. So I will say that self-concepts and self-worth and self-doubt again come from our childhood and how we were treated as children and what we experienced or what we heard, or even by a look. You know, it only takes a nanosecond for a child to absorb information and create a perception or belief out of it. You maintain reactionary mental habitable patterns and beliefs about your self-worth and capabilities based on events that took place decades ago. And people say to me, well, Barbara, that was a long time ago. I don't see how that bothers me. But again, once I explain to them how the unconscious really works and how it is absorbing everything and has thousands and thousands of bits of information, much like the hard drive in the computer, they realize that, oh, okay, I do want to tap into what's going on and how do I change this? Now, you may have fears or anxiety or negative views of yourself that you cannot escape. And in these early developmental stages, your brain waves created the essence of who you are. These perceptions, beliefs, and concepts held in the subconscious mind put you in what I like to call a hypnotic trance. And in that trance, we set out to prove what we received as a child, the beliefs, the ideas, the concepts, because if we don't set out to prove them, we'll think we're crazy. So we go and we create these things because they need to be healed. So it's time to dehypnotize yourself and step out of the trance with the EVOX. Our perceptions and beliefs are stored in the unconscious mind, much like your hard drive, like I said, on the computer stores data. The data shapes the way you view life and ultimately determining your reality and keeping you in the trance. So people are doing the same thing over and over and over again. And here at the American Biological Center, we help people to see what they're doing over and over again and how the stress of the unconscious and what they had been living out of is affecting their bodies. Eventually, it shows up somewhere in our physical body because it's frequency, energy, thought, and it's affecting us physically. And like I said earlier, it's like peeling an onion.